Over the past few days in Marvel Strike Force, hundreds and hundreds of dirty cheaters had their accounts permanently banned from the game. But also caught in the crossfire were a bunch of innocent people who did nothing wrong, also had their accounts permanently banned by Scopely. Scopely issued a response, but there is still a lot of fallout to deal with. We're discussing all of that in this video, plus things from the Save MSF movement seem to be heating up. We're discussing that as well, and if you're ready for all of that, guys, find that like button, and let's go smash it!
ValleyFlyin.
Hi, what is up, Valley Maniacs? I am ValleyFlyin. Welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel. I hope you had a great weekend, and if you celebrate Easter, I hope you had a great Easter. If you don't celebrate Easter, hope you had a great Sunday. But in this video, we are talking about all of the bans in Marvel Strike Force. We had a wave of them go off, over 1,000 accounts, almost 2,000 accounts getting banned. Well, if you round it up, it's almost 2,000 accounts. Right in the middle, about 1,600 accounts got banned. And there were some erroneous accounts that should not have been banned. We're going to talk about this whole situation, some of the fallout from it. Plus, we're also discussing this Save MSF movement. Things seems to be heating up with it, calling for a recent spending boycott on this RTA, the next season, the Battle Pass season. So we're talking about that as well. But let's go back and discuss where this all started. All of these bans, boom, it came from this message on April Fool's Day. This was posted on Thursday, April 1st. This was from Zeeks. We recently investigated and banned multiple accounts that violated our terms of service. Unfortunately, due to privacy concerns, we will not make any comments on the nature of these actions. These bans were intentional. This was a very important sentence right here, because there are players that were getting banned saying, hey, is this some kind of a joke? I did nothing wrong. Why is my account getting banned? Is this an April Fool's joke? And yeah, it was intentional, but there were some errors with some of the data that we're going to discuss. Please note that we're only able to support accounts that have been downloaded from the app, that have downloaded the app directly from supported channels. And that was kind of our clue that we had to this whole banning. There were a lot of people wondering, hey, are these people that are claiming that they did nothing wrong, are they lying? Is Scopely wrong again? Have they made yet another bug, errors in banning accounts that should not have been banned? Or is there some strange kind of thing going on in the terms of service that we're not aware of? Maybe people are violating accidentally, and maybe all these people that said, hey, I've spent no money, I've downloaded the app from the Google Play Store, why is my account getting banned? I guess they were telling the truth, and there's no strange terms of service. It was all a bug from Scopely. Surprise, surprise. I know this is surprising, but yes, more bugs from Scopely. Let's look at their official response that they gave out this past weekend. Our recent ban wave on Thursday, we took action against 1,630 player accounts that we identified as having violated Marvel Strike Force terms of service. We take the integrity of this game very seriously, and banning accounts found to be in violation of our terms of service is something that we do frequently. Now, I guess there's been a lot of controversy on, hey, how come some accounts get banned, some accounts don't get banned? From the impression that I have gotten, it's when people are actively hacking the game and are changing the game files. This is something that Scopely said, ban, done, permanently banned, off. But if it's an exploit of something strange that Scopely has done, like making this loophole that allows players to get multiple offers, or some other violations they've done in the past. I guess shelling is some kind of weird thing, that loophole that they've had in the past. They're less likely to ban these accounts because it's an error on their part. I don't know if that's necessarily the best thing to not punish people that are using exploits and treating the same as hacking and cheating, but that's kind of where the discrepancy has. But they are banning accounts according to this. Unfortunately, though, with this week's most recent ban action, we have incorrectly identified 154 player accounts and inadvertently banned players that did nothing wrong. Upon realizing our mistake, those players had their accounts immediately reinstated. So it took them a couple days, and it took them people wondering what is going on with these accounts. Are they lying, or are they telling the truth? And they were telling the truth. They did nothing wrong, and their accounts got reinstated. To those players, we apologize deeply. Our mistake and inconvenience of our oversight has caused you. So again, it's not just those certain players that were banned. It's also their alliances that were affected. Alliances that were trying to reach milestones in the raid season, fighting wars. I've even heard reports that some leaders of alliances were banned, and this causes confusion and causes issues for the whole alliance. So hopefully some of the compensation that they're talking about in this blog post extends to the entire alliances. And of course, we've had our 3rd anniversary milestone going on right now with some awesome rewards. No word on how they're gonna compensate these players for this, but in my experience, most of the time, not every time, most of the time when there's bugs, Scopely is pretty good with the compensation. So hopefully all 154 players get the compensation they deserve, including the alliance mates of these erroneously banned accounts. All right, in our effort to protect our ability to detect these violations, we tend to talk about cheating and the action we take against these in vague terms. And yes, they've been very vague with it. And I wish there would be more transparency like we have in this blog post. But given this week's errors, it's appropriate for us to be more transparent around this specific incident. I wish they would extend that to other incidents as well, especially with the most recent before this, that Silver Surfer offer, what they're doing and how they're taking these actions and all that stuff. I wish there was more transparency, but I'm glad they're transparent with this stuff. All right, the violations in question involve the use of a third-party app to bypass a normal course of combat in recent weeks, giving these accounts an advantage they otherwise wouldn't have had. So I thought these things were gone, but I guess as some of these get taken down, more and more pop up. But I'm glad these should be banned. Doing this stuff is not good. It's not good for the integrity of the game. Unrelated, one of our database providers experienced excessive load in a specific period during the same window, creating a discrepancy in a variety of our logs, including, unbeknownst to us at the same time, we performed these recent bans that we use for combat validation. So some errors in the data. And I guess my goodness, I would wonder why they wouldn't double check, triple check all of this work before they issue these permanent bans. And I guess from the reports, people were getting temporary bans, 3-day bans, but when they logged back into their accounts, it was a full ban. So I guess it was started off as a temporary ban, but got escalated to the permanent ban. Because of this discrepancy, 154 players out of the total 1630 flagged accounts had logs that appeared to have failed their combat validations, which they really hadn't, and were incorrectly banned. So like I was saying, I mean, how much work would it be for someone to go in, double check all 1,630 of these accounts to make sure that these were really doing some nefarious things, doing some cheating things in the game, and just causing issues for people that are playing this game legitimately? How much work would have been for them to go in and double check all of the work, double check all of these logs, double check all the databases that they had, instead of having this situation of people being confused, and now they're having to reach out to all 154 players and issue them compensation, and probably their alliance mates as well, if they want to be fair with everything. You know, just a little bit of work, a few hours work on the front end, maybe it's more than a few hours, but some work on the front end it could prevent a lot of this headache and a lot of extra work going back and fixing these problems. I mean, this seems like a standard operating procedure for the folks over at Scopely right now to act and then react, instead of to make sure that these things are true and are really what they think they are before they issue these things like bans and other things going in the game. Again, we understand this is a terrible misstep on our part, and we'll be using this week's incident to make our cheat detection even more robust to mitigate something that's happened again. So it's I guess it's not just a cheat detection, though, but this is a symptom of a larger issue going on where they're QA testing, validating all of their data before they make something go live in the game, or sending out compensation, something, you know, testing things out before it goes live on a public server, whether it be compensation, whether it be events, whether it be characters. Multiple man. A lot of people are expecting multiple man tonight. How many bugs are going to go on with multiple man if he was not checked and double checked and triple checked like it was with his database? We've since patched our detection system to prevent incorrectly flagged accounts in these situations, and hopefully we don't get any more database crashes that just throws everything off. We also continue to add more robust data, which provides us more information, angles, and time to perform these holistic analysis and investigate individual examples. In the meantime, we'll be reaching out to the incorrectly affected players in the early next week and making it right with them throughout the course of the following days. And I hope a lot of these players that were erroneously banned don't just say, hey, screw it, we're done. You know, I mean, I'm hoping that, because I'm a person that likes MSF. I want to see this thing turn around. I want to see it better. But with these kind of missteps, it's just correcting a lot of the mistakes from the past. Thank you as ever for your loyalty and support, even when we're imperfect. I mean, that happens a lot. I mean, it's every couple days it seems like there's another bug. But let's go over to Reddit and look at this exact same post that Zeke's posted. The text is exactly the same. The reason I want to point this out is there was a question about Lunar compensation. Now, for those of you who don't remember, during that Lunar event, it was a pretty good event, but there were some people switching alliances so that they could get that end reward, which is kind of equivalent to a 5 red star. Well, there was a statement issued that everybody that did not do that would be getting compensation. And the response is from Zeke, says, as of now, that compensation will be going out later this week. Now, since this was posted on Saturday, I'm expecting Thursday, Friday, we should start to see some compensation from that Lunar event. And we'll continue to monitor this situation with this ban wave and the compensation for the players that were affected. And hopefully their alliance mates also get some kind of rewards, because yes, the alliances don't run well with 23 or 22, or for the alliances that had their leaders kicked out. Yes, a lot of issues. So hopefully everybody is made whole with this bad situation of these erroneously banned accounts. But let's talk about this boycott that is going on right now with this Save MSF movement. When we see the latest on this situation, and they are still continuing to push for changes made to the Red Star economy, gold, T4 abilities, catch-up mechanics. The one thing they mentioned here is splits. One thing that's not mentioned is the blue ability materials, because as people progress, especially newer players, they're getting to Ultimate 7 a lot faster, missing out on a lot of the blue ability materials. So that's another thing I would like them to address. But in the recent blog post that we've had addressing community concerns, Scopely, I think, has addressed everything. One big omission, though, is this red stars and the whole red star economy. Now, all these things that I say that I got mentioned, like gold, ability materials, catch-up mechanics, I think they still need to go further with a lot of these things. But the one big omission that was not even mentioned was this red star economy. Now, they've done a few calendars since then. Give us a few gold promotion credits. Give us a few silver promotion credits. I like what they did on April Fools with that calendar. Hopefully, you guys are following me on social media and got notified that you should be taking advantage of that. But a few different things here. I'm still wondering why nothing has been said about the Red Star economy. It must be that they're making so much money from it. But as far as the next step, if you look, the App Store rating on Google Play is going down. The iOS is still up there, but a lot of people are changing their ratings to 1 stars in an attempt to get some of these things fixed and to get some of these things at least acknowledged by Scopely. I would like to see a lot of the transparency that we had after the fact in this recent ban wave, before the fact, in responding before issues like this become very big. But what is going on with the movement right now? They're strongly urging all players to follow them and not purchasing the next battle pass for RTA. And the reason they're choosing battle pass is that if you don't get the battle pass, you're not missing out on a lot. Now, there are some good rewards, character shards, gear 15 pieces, and there's some cores, there's some promotion credits in there as well. I think the big thing is, if you already have the characters at 7 stars, if you are already done with the Dark Dimension 4, the battle pass doesn't hold a lot of value. If you're still struggling for these things, then they could have a lot of value. And my thing with the battle pass has always been wait and purchase it. Make sure I'm going to get these rewards, because if you're purchasing a battle pass for 20 bucks, the rewards look good, but you have to do a lot of grinding. Then it diminishes the value a little bit. But if you've already done the grinding and you're purchasing it just for the value, then it's a pretty good value towards the end of it. Now, hopefully, I could not purchase it in the beginning like I normally do, and we get some solution. We get some of these things addressed. Red stars. Maybe they're not addressed, but maybe we get a reason why they're not addressed. Maybe it's just honesty, like they're making a lot of money with this. I think that would be better than saying nothing. And that is my opinion. Let me know your thoughts. Maybe I'm an outlier here, but yes, that's the situation, guys. Like I said, I normally don't purchase these in the beginning anyway because they just don't have the value towards the beginning. Towards the end, I normally do, and I'm hoping that towards the end of this next season of Battle Pass that we get some changes. So that is it. That is the latest. Hopefully this helps, and hopefully we get some kind of clarity to what is happening with all these players that were affected by this ban wave. Not just the players directly, but all their alliance mates and possibly more. This extends very, very wide, and hopefully Scopely does a good job of making this right. And hopefully they realize that doing some QA on the front end can save them a lot of PR negativity, and can save them a lot of potential work on the back end as well, as these bugs get more and more. I guess they're not bugs, they're just errors, the errors that don't corrected. So let me know what you guys would want to see as far as a solution to this these ban wave, and what you're gonna do as far as this save MSF movement in attempts to hopefully get this game in a better place and addressing some of these things that have not yet been addressed by Scopely. Check out some of my other videos, guys. Before you go, check out some of the sponsors: Amazon Coins, BlueStacks, World by Nutrition. Guys, I am using their products almost all the time, so check them out. It helps the channel. And yes, like I said, check me out on Twitter because I post a lot of stuff there. Before you go, give me a Hulk fist bump and check out the mailbag video coming out later today. Guys, ValleyFlyin out.